But what got me to finally make a decision of what I finally ultimately did was when my New York lawyer came up and John Mitchell, and the first things he said, was he's close with the New York bosses in my family. And he said the New York bosses are worried sick. And I said, why? What are they worried sick about? And then he said, Artie's not in the system. Artie, the boss, Niger, was not in the system. And when they say that to you, I don't know if you know what that means,
That
but
means they're off the map, hidden, probably in witness
probably
protection.
cooperating, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Even if they took him out of the prison in transit,
He should
someone's gonna
still
know
be
someone's gonna know where he is, right?
and he should
And it's
still
gonna be
be on the system.
right. So you're talking, so Artie's not in, so I asked him, I go, so he's not in the system. I got 4 guys that put me with the murder, and now the boss that ordered it is not in the system. So if they're worried sick, what do you think I should be? And he's like, well, just, wait, let's see what happens. Let's see if, let's get the discovery. And now this is the first time I'm seeing him, and he wants to know more about this John Bologna. So I'm telling him, I go, the guy's a piece of shit. I go, I told Artie, what they told us, he was an informant from day one. I go, Artie knew he was a fucking informant. I go, he kept him around us. I go, I didn't tell him I asked permission to kill him, but I go, the guy knew he was an informant. He goes, all right, well, let's just see, and this and that. But now a month goes by. So, anyways, when I hear that, I figure, it's like I'm a dead man. I'm a dead man, even if it isn't true about Artie. But it's like, so what do I got to lose? So it was like that's when it started putting into my mind. What am I going to do here? That's when the first thought of cooperating came into my head. If they would even let a guy like me cooperate, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, what would they? How would I even be offered? But they did offer that to me. They did offer that. I never, I just say, no, I'm good. I'm all set. Like you get arrested today if you want to say anything, if you want to, talk about your case. Like when I got arrested for this case, they said, he goes, bosses flipped today, Aunt. And I thought it was kind of a weird message warning that this guy was giving me. He goes, bosses flipped today. You're second on the indictment. Artie's an old man. It wouldn't be nothing for him to flip and blah, blah, blah. So I remember them telling me that, and now this guy's not in the system. Where do you go for a month? And here's the funny thing. The federal marshal on the case, who I'm partners with to this day, can verify everything I'm telling. He dropped Artie. So Artie was doing time at Fort Dix, right? This marshal was in charge of our case. They pick up you from prison, bring you here, point A to point B, from trial to prison, this, that, and the other. They drop you off at prison. He picks him up at Fort Dix. He drops him off at MCC.